Okay. All right. So my name is Moritz. I'm the founder at DataWhale, and it's a startup that builds on top of Ocean Protocol technology. We're not officially associated to the project, even though I'm wearing my sweater over here. But we're making use of their technology, which is all open source, to build our business. So what does data actually mean? This is what we're going to explain in a short presentation today. We're going to go through a new data economy and the data token ecosystem. And we'll also provide you with a short overview of Ocean Protocol Marketplace, as well as our startup, DataWhale. So data is the world's most valuable resource. When you read on up about data, some even say that data is the new oil. And if you sit back and think about it, it actually makes sense, because all technologies that our future depend on, like artificial intelligence or machine learning, they all are based on the availability of data. And right now, as it is at the moment, data is not readily available for everyone to access freely and transparently and securely. Data is currently being farmed by large organizations like Google and Facebook. If you've seen The Social Dilemma on Netflix, you'll know what I'm talking about. So basically, blockchain technology can help solve this problem, because right now the data economy is very much centralized. And in order to unlock data and make it available for everyone, it is required to decentralize and disrupt this industry. And with the help of Ocean Protocol, which have this vision since as far back as 2017, they have provided a technology to disrupt this $5 trillion data economy. They have built a decentralized data exchange protocol. So it sounds pretty complicated, but I'm trying to explain it as simple as possible. With the help of blockchain technology, you can tokenize pretty much anything. And with Ocean Protocol, you can now also tokenize data sets. So basically what can be created is a token that is called data token that can be traded, that can be used to access data, and that can also be used to explore the actual value of data. All right, and as we go through the presentation, I hope it's going to be a bit more clearer for you. Something that you also have to know is that Ocean Protocol, they also have their own token. It's called Ocean. And it's basically the currency to create and exchange this data tokens. Okay. The team at the Ocean Protocol is also collaborating with various partners from around the world to kickstart this new data economy. These include Daimler, Roche, and they've also most recently been announced as a technology pioneer by the World Economic Forum. You can Google that. Basically, just type in World Economic Forum and Ocean Protocol, and you'll see that Ocean Protocol is listed there on their official website, which is huge news in my opinion, because companies like Google were previously announced as a technology pioneer as well. So let's get a little bit more into data tokens. So what are data tokens actually? In the end of the day, data tokens represent ownership or access rights. You can also describe them similar to, instead of having shares in a company, you can now have shares in a company's data with the help of data tokens. All right, so data tokens are available on Ethereum, but they're also a multi-chain asset that are available on other networks like Polygon or Binance Smart Chain. All right, these data tokens, they can be traded on decentralized exchanges like Uniswap, and mainly they are currently being exchanged on the Ocean Protocol Marketplace, which you'll see at the end of the presentation. So just to reiterate, the three main use cases for data tokens are access control. First of all, that's the main use case for data tokens, because when you own a data token, you also own the right to access the underlying data that this token backs, right? So you can decide, if you own the data token, to spend the data token and in order to access the data. And all of this is securely and transparently registered on the blockchain for everyone to see. So it's a much safer and more transparent way to access data. Also, data tokens, they can be priced variably depending on supply and demand. Data tokens can also be traded. So similar like on, for example, the stock exchange, the price of a data token can fluctuate. So it's also a mean to discover the true value of data, which is decided by a public market. And lastly, data finance. So since data token sort of also represents a financial investment vehicle, they can also be used for trading or other financial activities. So this is the first use case and the most important use case that I'd like to talk about, which is accessing data. So in this case, we have the data owner here. So the data owner obviously has a data set. This data set could represent pretty much anything, for example, weather data, right? So let's take a real world example. So let's say this data owner is a agricultural provider in south of Spain, and they have collected over 5 or 10 years weather data across their farms. So this could be valuable for other data scientists, for example, or researchers. So the data owner decides to create data tokens for their data, right? And then we have the data consumer, which currently is pretty lost in the whole data world. I mean, they're trying to look for data, but as I said in the beginning, right now data is pretty much locked and only being farmed by large organizations. With the help of this data token, we give a financial incentive to the data owner to publish their data openly. And then the data consumer comes into the picture and can decide to buy this data token with the help of the Ocean currency, the Ocean protocol's native token. So they spend the data token, which goes back into the treasury of the data owner, and in return, the data consumer received the access to the data. And all in this cycle, in the middle, is the data token, which is the key metric or exchange, the medium of exchange for data. And then the second use case is a bit simpler. So here we have a data investor. So this investor is not looking to consume the data or access the data. This investor decides to buy a data token with the hope to, in the future, basically, that the underlying data will increase in value. And in line with this, the data token may also increase in value. So basically, the data investor is spending the Ocean token in order to buy a data token and stores this data token in their wallet. So what are the requirements to tokenize data? Which data is actually useful? Well, pretty much any data can be useful. If your organization draws value from a specific data, then probably it might be useful for others too. Think of a retail supplies chain tokenizing their inventory data, which is very useful for their suppliers to access because it can improve efficiencies across different industries, right? So in the case of the automotive industry, for example, there is a proof of concept that was done between Ocean Protocol and Daimler to tokenize Daimler data for the supply chain to make it more efficient. And suppliers like, for example, DHL, that are part of this supply chain can draw value from that data. Which characteristics are important? So definitely data should not include sensitive information. Like so when we speak about data, we always think that data is sensitive. And that's not always the case because what data scientists and researchers are particularly interested in is aggregated data, meaning data on a bigger scale, on a bigger format. How should it be organized? Well, there's various ways to organize data. Ideally, it should be organized in a way that AI algorithms or machine learning algorithms can read the data, just to keep it as simple as possible. And other requirements, obviously the data owner should have the commercial and the owning rights to this data because it's being tokenized for a commercial purpose. And it should not contain illegal or sensitive information. All right, so let's speak a little bit about data whale. So we have two main objectives. The first objective is to make what I've just explained to you, to make it as simple as possible for businesses and enterprises. So blockchain technology is still a very new subject for a lot of businesses around the world. And we're trying to explain to them that they should be treating their data, whichever data they collect, as an asset, because it can become very valuable in the future. So they can start right now to organize their data in certain ways, for example, and maybe even experiment to tokenize one of their data sets. So that's what we offer. It's sort of a consulting service. And the second objective that we have is to build infrastructure around this asset class called data tokens. So right now, we're building a mobile interface for the Ocean Protocol marketplace on the Apple iOS store and the Google Play Store. And if you're familiar with cryptocurrency and blockchain in general, you will see that our application is very similar to applications, for example, like CoinMarketCap or Blockfolio. And it also has a trading function that is coming soon. And it's basically a one-stop shop specialized on data tokens. Our startup is funded by the Ocean DAO. And if you're watching this right now and you think that you can, create something of value for the Ocean Protocol ecosystem, I encourage you to go on to www.oceanprotocol.com/DAO and prepare a proposal, which then the community votes for, and then possibly you can also receive funding for your idea. So that's a great way to build value for our ecosystem. And this is just a short overview of our application, Alga. So as you can see here, here we have all the different data tokens that are currently available in the marketplace, and you can also discover and research their pricing history. You can swap the data tokens, and you can also create your data token wallet. If you're interested to learn more, please go check out our other channels. We have a website, datawhale.online, a Twitter account, @RealDataWhale, and most recently, we've also launched our YouTube channel, Data Whale YouTube. So please head on over, and we have a lot of videos there, and how to create your own data tokens and how to use the marketplace of Ocean Protocol in general. All right, and you can contact us on info@datawhale.online. And before I finish, I'd just like to show you briefly the Ocean Marketplace, which is available on market.oceanprotocol.com. It's a Web3 website, so you can connect your wallet over here, and then you're ready to browse the marketplace. You'll need Ocean, which is available across various exchanges, and some Ethereum in this case. And then you're ready to go, basically. And you can see here, for example, the Data Union data token, which will come after our presentation by Robin. And you can also see our data token that was created by DataWhale. And for every data token, you can see the description of the data set that is behind this data token here. And you can buy access to it. In our case, for 1 year, you can buy access to our data with the help of our data token, 36. And if you're not interested really to buy the access, you can also trade the data token over here. And like I said, you'll need some Ocean for it. So for example, if you'd like to buy our data token, you can spend 200 Ocean over here, and you'll be receiving 2.75 of our data token. And then you can approve and swap, which is very, very similar to other decentralized exchanges. And then you'll be having the data token in your respective wallet. But I do encourage you to go ahead and explore the marketplace and learn more about data tokens. And if you have an idea on how to create value for this project, as I said, head on over to oceanprotocol.com/DAO and submit a proposal or view the proposals, and reach out and engage with our community. Thank you very much. That's it from my side.